Good afternoon, super friends, and welcome to the Friday, November 21st edition of the Sacred News and Weather. I am coming to you fresh from the gratitude feast at my children's school, which was really, really sweet. I finally got to take part this year. These last many years, I've either been coming off of a night shift or at work. And so it was really special for me to be able to be there and to volunteer and see them all drawing out and writing down onto like little prayer flags what they are thankful for. So I'm just feeling a little bit warm and fuzzy from that. And today's message, um, I felt like on Wednesday I was going to continue where maybe not where I left off, but maybe down a more energetic pathway from what I was talking about in my last message, which was all about spiritual awakening that happens through ancestral or familial trauma. And that still feels present for us. But I have to say, this morning in my meditation, I I sometimes, if you saw my altar, if I turned this whole camera around and you saw my altar and you saw what's next to me and you saw what's next to me over here, you would see a piles upon piles, maybe even of books. I might have a little problem. But I sometimes like I always begin my morning practice with gratitude. I have a notebook and I literally sit down at my altar and I write out what I am feeling grateful for to begin my practice. And from there, I sort of open it up to direction. And this morning, I was shown to pick up a book and use it as literomancy. How do we say that? I don't even know. Again, sometimes I use words that I read and I know, but I don't ever speak them out loud. And so I'm speaking them out loud at you, and I'm hoping for the best. But literomancer, that's a book. Um, Divination through reading, through literature, through poetry. That is what I'm talking about. However we want to pronounce it, whatever you want to call it, I opened up a book to a page and delighting in asking for some wisdom and knowledge to be conveyed to me from spirit. And I'm going to read what I was given this morning. And this is a poem called Rend Your Heart by Jan Richardson. And in case you are wondering what the definition of rend is, it is to tear into two or more pieces. So, Rend Your Heart by Jan Richardson. To receive this blessing, all you have to do is let your heart break. Let it crack open. Let it fall apart so you can see its secret chambers, the hidden spaces where you have hesitated to go. Your entire life is here, inscribed whole upon your heart's walls. Every path taken or left behind. Every face you turned toward or turned away. Every word spoken in love or in rage. Every line of your life you would prefer to leave in shadow. Every story that shimmers with treasures known and those you have yet to find. It could take you days to wander these rooms, 40 at least. And so let this be a season for wandering, for trusting the breaking, for tracing the rupture that will return you to the one who waits, who watches, who works within the rending to make your heart. That's from a book called Circle of Grace. And I feel like I could almost just leave this here and say, here we go. There's the message. And in many ways, I just will do that. But I want to, for a moment, roll the camera back to a message that I deposited here probably several months ago now, which began with "Let your heart break all the way open." And it feels so relevant to the evolution, to the spiritual awakening that happens from rupture in early childhood, from rupture in relationship, from rupture in any relationship. If we try to move forward without cracking open, without picking up all of the little pieces and looking, turning it over from all angles, remembering that it's not about the suffering, but it's about the questions the suffering brings forth. It's about picking up the pieces, each and every one, examining them for their beauty, for their gifts, for the pain, and the healing that is available to you underneath the pain, which I feel is it's the way, the only way that we awaken. Because we can pick up those pieces, we can look at them, we can turn them over, we can get that far and stay in, wow, look at this pain, and look at the this way I was wronged, and look at this way I was wronged. And I feel like, and something that came through this morning is like this very thing, like, okay, I've cracked open, here I am, I'm cracked open, and now I'm looking at all this shit, all of this pain, all of this yuck, and woe is me. And it's that staying in the woe is me that starts to create illness in the body, physical illness, spiritual illness, mental illness, all of the ways our body breaks down when it either stuffs the pain, stuffs the suffering, and doesn't allow it to be cracked open, or when it cracks open and we look at all of those pieces and we choose to stay in the pain. We are being invited now, whether in your personal life, in your family life, or looking at the way our planet has turned, the way politics, the way abundance or lack thereof, the way everything has shifted and turned towards shadow. And rather than examining what's in the shadow, looking for the healing, we're staying in the shadows and going, do you see this crap? Do you see this? Do you see this? This is terrible. It's all terrible. It's all terrible. We are being invited to pick it up and ask the questions, ask the hard questions of your own personal experience, ask the difficult questions of what is happening out in the world. What is here? What is up for healing? How can I get out of this personal pain so that I can help others get out of their personal pain so that we can heal this collective, knowing that we are so interrelated, we are so intertwined that each time we choose to ask that difficult question, to go searching for meaning underneath the pain, we heal a part of ourselves that moves in both directions on our ancestral lines, on our familial lines. So your children will benefit, your mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers and all of the ancestors that came before you, tripping over my words, they will all benefit. Each time you pick up a piece of your pain, you examine it from all sides and you don't choose to keep calling it pain, but you ask yourself, how do I heal from this? It's in that place where the opening happens. It's in that place where the awakening happens. It's in that place where the one that Jan Richardson spoke of, no matter what your word for the one is, whether it is God, whether it is Allah, whether it is Shiva, whether it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Insert your God, goddess, your highest self. If you choose not to believe in something outside of yourself and you choose to believe that highest version of yourself, that is where we connect with the one who connects us all. And that is where the awakening happens. And that is where we are all being invited to go. We are all being invited into this awakening. And not everyone's going to get there, and that's okay. But if you're watching this video, if you're hanging out with me, there's probably something here for you. And you are probably picking up something in your life and calling it pain and saying, nope, putting it back. Can't do this now. Can't deal with this now. And so I'm just going to invite you today to start picking up, maybe just starting with one piece, one little piece. Pick it up, look at it, feel its pain, and ask yourself what's underneath it. And allow yourself to go all the way in to what's underneath it to create that healing that can open you into something more, open you into unconditional love for that pained part of yourself, so that you don't have to go seeking love outside of yourself to quench that pain, to quell that ache. You can get there yourself by holding it, turning it over, examining it from all angles, and then tucking it back in as a piece you love and no longer a piece your body, your being is trying to reject. I think this is what I have for you. I think this is what I have for us. I'm just closing my eyes because I am getting some images from tarot. I'm getting the Six of Pentacles, bringing things into balance, at least in this context, bringing things into balance. And the sun, which is, of course, that light of unification. The sun doesn't discriminate. The sun is always shining, whether it is nighttime or cloudy or foggy or raining. The sun is always up in the sky, shining over us, whether we choose to feel it, whether we allow ourselves to experience it, whether we can remember that it's there or not, it is there. And so allowing yourself, inviting yourself into balance and letting the light of unification bring a little bit of that balance in both directions, in all directions, all around, behind you, before you. Just let it move all around you and see how you feel. Okay, for real this time. I'm done. Happy Friday. I will see you all on Monday. It's going to be a weird week next week because my kids are home and I'm traveling, but I'm going to do my best to come to you from my travels. And please like, share, subscribe. I don't think I gave you the preamble, so if this message didn't resonate, let it go. Find a new one. I'll be back.